fine. I got my whiskey to make me frisky, cannabis gummies, and my Rolaids. All right, Fleabag, let's hit it.
From Hollywood, welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
Thank God it's Friday!
Oh, amen to that. Oh, yeah, we have made it through another week, my fiends. But hey, the good stuff happens now. We get to go on another action-packed adventure, and today, I promise I'm really going to tickle your taint. By the end of this episode, you're going to be going... All right, here's what's on tap on the wrap. What happens when two old liberals go to war? Climate change is out and global warming is back. I'm going to prove once and for all that Social Security is a damn scam. And would you have a baby if the government pitched in $5,000? We'll size up the first night of the NFL draft, play another round of head trauma. How about it sounds dirty, but it's not? Plus our usual loose behavior. We've got the Friday Funny today, because it's finally Friday. Celebrity Cheese, your email from our Gmail. One more thing, and we've got shout-outs to Rat Nation and the Resistance. That's what's coming up today on the Rat's Ass Podcast. All right, never let it be said that I don't give credit where credit is due. I'm really a good guy in this way. I would like to congratulate our Slumlord California Governor Gavin Newsom for placing 5 California cities on the top 23 dirtiest cities list in the USA. He got 2 in the top 5. Pretty damn impressive, if I do say so my damn self. Now, the state capital of Sacramento, where the slumlord lives, was number 2. Los Angeles came in 4th, Oakland 15, San Francisco 19th, and Riverside nailed the number 22 spot. So again, congratulations, Gavin. Man, so proud of you. You have really earned the honor of being called the slumlord. Oh, here's another one he should be really proud of. Thanks to his bullshit $20 minimum wage for fast food workers, Jack in the Box announced they're closing up to 200 California locations. All of those jobs out the window. Now, in theory, $20 minimum wage, in theory, I'll give him props. But in action, oh, bad idea. Bad idea coming out of a pandemic. So do you still think Gavin would make a great president? Now, as for you Jack-in-the-Box fans, you're just going to have to get your diarrhea elsewhere. All right, earlier this week, Curb Your Enthusiasm star Larry David wrote a piece that appeared in the New York Times titled, My Dinner with Adolf. It was aimed at Bill Maher. What did Bill do? He went to go to D.C. and have dinner with the one and only Donald J. Trump. Now, the funny thing is, both David and Maher are crazy liberals. They were friends at once upon a time. Maybe they will be again. But Maher did a bad thing, man. He crossed over to the other side, had dinner with Trump. And the problem really ensued when Maher had nice things to say about Donald. Had some really nice things to say about him. And that didn't sit well with Larry David at all. No, siree, Bob Cattell. So he decided to pin an op-ed to the New York Times, and that rag will print anything from a celebrity that trashes a conservative. Now, Bill Maher responded to David by saying, you know, when you insert Hitler into the conversation, you've already lost the argument. And it's true, because Hitler does have a special place in history all by himself. So I'm going to say I agree 100% with Bill Maher on this one. And screw you, Larry David, you wretched old hobo Bernie Sanders lookalike.
That's just about enough of that.
All right, Mom. All right, did you hear climate change is out? And global warming is back. They're going to flip the narrative on us. Scientists now claim they need $66 million to dim the sun. That's all, $66 million. That's all they need, and they can dim the sun, fighting back global warming. Now, does this sound far-fetched to you? Now, a few podcasts back, I laid out for you all the schemes scientists have claimed, hatched over the past 75 years, and none of it came true. Now they think they can dim the sun. Another whimsical idea to dupe us and the government so they get more money for space exploration. I'll tell you what, if scientists think they can dim the sun, pull my middle leg, and it'll play the theme from Star Trek for you. All right, many moons ago, I wrote a paper on Social Security and concluded it was a scam. Now, I'm going to try to do this for you so it doesn't feel like you're listening to grass grow, but here goes. Here goes. Are you ready? Think about making $100,000 a year. We're just going to use that number, $100,000 per year. That means whether you're self-employed or not, the government is going to take 14.3% of your income. 14.3 if you're self-employed. If you're employed by somebody else, you have an employer, you guys split it. All right, now, what if you invested that money yourself at a conservative 5% rate of interest for 45 years, from the time you graduated from college to retirement? 22 to 67. How much money do you think you'd accumulate? Try $2.2 million. $2,282,710 to be exact. Your investment, $643,500, whether you save it yourself or you give it to the government. Now, if you took a 5% a year withdrawal to live on, your monthly income would be roughly $9,500 a month, or $114,000 a year roughly. And you'd still have over $2.2 million in your bank account. That's yours. Now, based on today's SSI tables, the government would pay you $48,000 a year roughly and about $4,000 per month. That's about 42% of what you would have made if you saved the money yourself. So the question is, what happens to that other 58%? Well, guess what? The government keeps it. And that's what makes it a scam. It's good for the government, not good for you. And it's unsustainable and why it needs to be overhauled, to be quite honest with you. And that means if you want to retire and live the same way you're living now, you're going to have to pay even more into retirement, another 10, 20% more. So how much is that going to eat up your fund for 45 years? I know. Wake up. All right, the government has come up with another cockamamie idea, and this is the Trump administration. They want to give you $5,000, a $5,000 baby bonus if you'll start popping out kids again. Yeah, we're not looking good. They need every woman in America to pop out 2.1 kids. Right now it's at about 1.6. Now, according to ChatGPT, it costs about $600,000 to raise a child to put them through college today. That's just one kid. So the government's going to say, you know what, if you'll invest $595,000, we'll chip in $5,000. Yeah, how about that? What a nice government, huh? I'd say stay on the birth control unless you really do want the kiddos.
His mother never liked him. Here's Mojo Elliott with Rap Sports.
Stop talking to my mother. All right, the first round of the NFL draft happened on Thursday night in Green Bay, and for the most part, it's pretty boring. A lot of offensive and defensive linemen were taken, but Cam Ward, as expected, was taken number 1 by Tennessee, and my Raiders, thank God, they gave me the gift of Ashton Jetty from Boise State. Oh, I told you on Wednesday, this is who I wanted. I thought Pete Carroll would do it because he's always had great running backs. Seattle, and going back to USC when he had Reggie Bush. Oh, so excited for the Raiders right now. The big story was Shedeur Sanders. He went undrafted, and I'm not shocked by this. As I told you on Wednesday, I've never been impressed by him. You think I'm crazy? What round is he going in? Travis Hunter, his teammate, who I said bailed him out and made him look better than he really was, went number 2 after Jacksonville traded up with Cleveland to get him. God, I feel bad for Browns fans. They make one continuous mistake in the draft after another every year. How are the Browns going to screw up this year? It only took them 2 picks this year. All right, this one cracked me up on social media, though. There were Sanders fans saying it was all racially motivated why he dropped out of the first round because the Giants traded up to take Jackson Dart, a white quarterback, out of Ole Miss. And that's what set him off. Let's forget the fact that 29 of the 32 players taken in the first round were black. Yeah, you know, the black guys, man, they just don't want to give the white guy a seat at the barbecue. You know, Sanders will probably get drafted, though, in either round 2 or 3 today, and maybe dropping down into later rounds. This will probably humble him a little bit. He'll play with a chip on his shoulder, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. He reacted pretty good to it. He didn't do too bad. I was surprised the Jets didn't take him at number 7. I was really surprised when the Steelers didn't take him. And then the Giants drafting Dart. I mean, they've already got 3 quarterbacks signed. Why did they need to do that? So, you know, the thing is, these teams know more than we do, and they'll do what they got to do. Hopefully it works out for them. Round 2, 3 tonight, and then I think we got 4 through 7 over the weekend. All right, checking in on the NBA playoffs, the New York Knicks beat Detroit. They're up 2-1 in that series. Oklahoma City knocked off Memphis. They're up 3-0. And the LA Clippers dropped Denver, and the Clippers lead that series 2-1. The Lakers play Game 3 tonight at Minnesota. I'm so nervous about this game. It's pivotal, man. Pivotal game. All right, the Lakers lose. I have a feeling they're going to go down to the Timberwolves. Tonight, they got to win. It's a must win. I think it's even bigger than Game 2, for crying out loud. All right, they're all important. Who the hell am I kidding? All right, in the NHL playoffs, Florida beat Tampa Bay. They're up 2-0 in that series. Toronto took out Ottawa. They're up 3-0. Looks like a sweep happening there. Minnesota slayed Las Vegas. That series 2-1 in favor of Minnesota. St. Louis rolled over Winnipeg, but Winnipeg still leads that series 2-1. You can check out all my NBA and NHL playoff picks on the blog at ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com. And that's your Rat's Ass Podcast, Sports.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today's round is, it sounds dirty, but it's not. Listen to these three clues and see if you can guess what this is. All right, the clue number one. Clue number one. I'm into leather and handcuffs. My big stick hangs from my waist. And number three, I can pull out when you least expect it. All right, sounds dirty, but it's not. I'm into leather and handcuffs. My big stick hangs from my waist, and I can pull out when you least expect it. All right, marinate on that, kick it around, and we'll have the answer coming up for you a little bit later on the podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Yes, it is. As you know, for the last couple of weeks, we do the Friday Funny. And every Friday I dig into my comedy archives and try to whip out something that's going to make you laugh your ass off. So cover your funny bone and welcome to the stage, the one and only, Robin Williams.
There's another drug they don't tell you is a drug. It's a class 4 narcotic, alcohol. And alcohol is especially dangerous for people like myself, alcoholics. Robin, how do I know if I'm an alcoholic? Well, as one, let me give you some warning signs. Number one, after a night of heavy drinking, you wake up fully clothed going, hey, somebody's shitting my pants. Number two, you have a couple of cocktails, you find yourself on the freeway going, what are these fuckers doing going the wrong way? Number three, you get drunk, you go out for Indian food, you wake up in Bombay with a camel licking your balls. Ta-da! You are an alcoholic. And some people say, Robin, I'm a functioning alcoholic, which is, you can be one. It's like being a paraplegic lap dancer. You can do it. Just not as well as the others, really. And they say alcoholism is peer pressure. Bullshit. Peer pressure for an alcoholic is, come here.
I think Robin's telling us there that unless you've had your balls licked by a camel, you're not an alcoholic. You know, we lost Robin back in 2014, man. I'll tell you what, America, the United States of America, has never had a sense of humor again. God rest his soul. Mr. Robin Williams for you on the Rat's Ass Podcast, Friday Funny.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
Yeah, Shannon Sharpe has stepped away from ESPN until his rape case gets settled. Sharpe is being sued by a 21-year-old model known as Gabby, who apparently he met her at a Diddy party. Now, she says Sharpe went too far, and she's suing him for $50 million. Now, it's been described that their relationship has been a BDSM relationship. Okay, this is the practice of domination and submission sex. In other words, Sharpe 50 Shades of Greater. Now, if you read the text between Shannon and Gabby, she referred to him as daddy quite a bit. Now, he's 57 and she's 21. That's a 36-year-old gap. So I'm thinking, you know, the daddy reference probably has nothing to do with the BDSM. I'd say Gabby has daddy issues. All right, Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are at each other's throats again, this time over the sale of their $68 million mansion in Los Angeles. Ben wants to lower the price to get rid of it, and J-Lo says, we ain't dropping the price. So they'll figure it out. She wants $68 million. Yep, Jenny from the block wants her money. Then you have Jessica Alba and her ex-husband Cash Warren trying to sell their $19 million L.A. mansion, but there's no takers. But do you know why homes aren't selling like this in L.A.? The people who have money that could buy these homes are very smart people. They know enough not to buy property sitting in the middle of a shithole operated by Democrats whose policies just burned down Pacific Palisades, parts of Malibu, and Pasadena. All right, Justin Bieber took to Instagram to discuss religion this week. The Bieb said the Bible he said the Bible and church alone cannot save a soul. Can't save a lost person, but receiving God's forgiveness can. All right, I'm a little suspicious here, but I think Justin's probably going to have a new single called Stay Prayed Up coming out soon. All right, Sydney Sweeney and ex-Jonathan Davino have been hanging out together, holding hands, making out in public, spurring on rumors that they're getting back together, but Sweeney denies it. She says, we're just friends. Okay, basically, there's a new fad out here in California. Oh, we start them all. It's called Exes with Benefits. Oh, and by the way, Britney Spears has now been single for 66 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
We're going to get her a man yet. We're going to shame her into a relationship, aren't we?
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, Jason K. from Portland, Oregon said, this BS Shannon Sharpe is dealing with is why men don't want anything to do with women anymore. What are single men supposed to do to protect themselves? You know what? I'll tell you what. I'm glad I'm not a single guy today. I think if it was up to me, I would say, you know what? Yeah, I'm into you. But before we have sexual relations, the hot, lovely relations, I need you to sign a consent form laying out exactly what you're willing to do and what you won't do. And have her sign it. And be sure to get it on video and time-stamped. All right, Isabel, Flagstaff, Arizona said, are you concerned about the people showing up to see the Bernie Sanders AOC rallies? Nah, these are the same people who showed up every year for this stuff. They're just a faction of the United States that, they're into this stuff. They like the idea of socialism, that somebody pays for their livelihood. And that's just the way it is. So, if these rallies got 100,000 or more, I might be concerned. But I do have to give AOC some props because she finally admitted as to what she is.
You know Idaho?
Yep, listen to her words. What'd she say?
You know Idaho?
Yeah, she's the hoe. She admitted. So I give her props for admitting that she is a hoe.
You know Idaho?
All right, let's talk about socialism here for a second. I like to give examples on this. I came up with another one that I saw on X, and it said, mice die in mouse traps because they don't understand why the cheese is free. God, that the same goes for socialism. I can't think of another better way to explain it to you right there. But yeah, they're just people in this country who want their life paid for by the government. All right, Quincy K. in Muskegon, Michigan said, what's the best way to break up with a woman you don't want to see anymore? Well, I hear ghosting is a really effective tool today. That's what I hear. If not, you got to fake your own death, man. All right, Zach R. from Sarasota, Florida said, your X feed is now a daily must-read for me. Your breakdown of the boomer Generation X was outstanding. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Zach. The reason I had a lot of successful radio stations is because I spent a lot of time studying demographics and life groups. I won't really get into it here, but you can check out my X feed at Rat's Ass Podcast and scroll down until you find it. All right, Amanda B., Redondo Beach, California. Oh, I lived in Redondo for 14 years. Love Redondo Beach. Says, I'm getting ready to retire soon, and I was wondering if you would share 3 of the stocks you own that pay decent dividends. All right, Amanda. Yeah, I can do that for you. I'm not recommending that you buy these, though, because I've had these for a long time, and here's the deal with stocks. Even though they pay a good dividend, it doesn't mean that the stock price isn't going to go up and down. So you can buy too high, and you could lose a lot more than the dividend is paying you. So you got to be careful. So you got to do your homework and get good companies that have good P&L reports, okay? ExxonMobil is one that I have. They pay 99 cents a share. Philip Morris, $1.35 a share, and I have Prudential at $1.35 a share. And that's like just, putting your money into something. I mean, my God, interest rates are going to come down. You're going to get like 3.5%. Most of these are paying, with those dividend rates, over 5%. And granted, you got to put money away that you don't need into these stocks because they're going to go up and down like a heart monitor right now. All right, Yogi P. from Paducah, Kentucky said, do you follow the UFL? Do you follow the UFL? Follow the UFL. No, I don't. It's minor league football. These are guys who are pretty good in college, but they're not good enough to play in the NFL. A few get through the NFL training camps, but not enough to make me interested in watching the UFL. I mean, right now I'm into Major League Baseball. We've got NHL playoffs, the NBA playoffs. I don't have time for the UFL. I get enough football in the fall. All right, Summer J. from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. When are you going to start having guests, eh? Oh, jeez. Summer, I'm working on it, okay? It takes time to cultivate relationships, and I'm basically like starting over again. Maybe I'm shooting too high, but we'll start having guests soon here on the Rat's Ass Podcast. Thanks for the email. All right, if you have any questions or comments, send them to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast@gmail.com. Please remember, the more outrageous and salacious, the better. We like them outrageous, and we like them salacious. All right? Thank you.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, today's round we're playing It Sounds Dirty, but it's not. I gave you these 3 clues. I'm into leather and handcuffs. My big stick hangs out from my waist, or hangs down from my waist. I can pull out when you least expect it. All right, do you have the answer? Do you know what it is? If you guessed, a policeman.
Correctamundo.
And if you missed it, go see your doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, it's Friday. I got to go enter a mattress flipping competition I'm involved with, but I do have one more thing for you. Did you know Did you know, this is very interesting to me, it's illegal to own more than 6 dildos in Texas. Mm-hmm. Who in the hell needs 6 dildos?
You know, once you own a foot-long jackhammer, that's really all you need.
Alexa, are you saying you use, what is it, the foot-long jackhammer?
Twice a night, baby.
Oh, my God. Oh, you got a twice-a-night habit, do you? Huh? Wow. Can I watch?
Yeah, you wish, ha, ha, ha.
I do. I'm serious. I want to know how that works. Do you just jump on and grind it and grind it and grind on it?
Oh, shut up and do your shout-outs to Rat Nation Captain Peekaboo.
Okay, we'll talk about this later. Welcome to Rat Nation. Cindy Conrad of Missoula, Montana. God, I love me some Missoula. David Horvath, Columbus, Ohio. Marty Greenblatt in Salt Lake City. And to the Resistance, those who listen and email us, but for some reason have not joined Rat Nation yet. Justin G. in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Debbie King from McKeesport, Pennsylvania. And around the world to listeners in Germany, Brazil, New Zealand, and Italy. As always, I thank you very much and appreciate you listening to the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
Yes, it does. All right, that's it. I'm spent. That's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Be sure to check out the new ratsasspodcast.com to connect with us on the socials, listen to podcasts. You can join Rat Nation and read the blog. It is loaded with current events, pop culture, music, the radio wars, sports, Q&A, sex and relationships, plus the Dumbass Awards. We've got to pick a dumbass this week, too. We'll get together again on Monday, April 28th. Have a fabulous weekend and take care of each other. And thanks for dropping by The Rap.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. Ratsasspodcast.com.
What are you people? On dope?
We will be by the end of this weekend.